supplied by driving force. Power supplied by driving force. Okay. Power supplied by driving force. Okay. When an oscillator is set into force vibration by an internal driving force, same energy is dissipated in every cycle due to damping resistance or to maintain the steady state of a forecast oscillator. This energy loss has to be supplied by driving force. Okay, when the damped simple harmonic oscillator is acted upon by an external periodic driving force F equal to F naught cos omega t, the velocity of the forced oscillator is given by velocity of forced oscillator. Velocity of forced oscillator. Forced oscillator. Velocity of forced oscillator. dy by dt equal to v equal to f naught upon zm cos omega t minus phi. Okay, and where zm equal to under root of r square plus omega m minus s by omega whole square, s by omega whole square, and tan phi equal to omega m minus s by omega whole upon r. Okay, the work done by the driving force F in producing or displacement y is given by the work done by the driving force F in producing or displacement y equal to W equal to F into y, where y equal to displacement. Okay, y equal to displacement. Okay, y equal to displacement. Okay, the instantaneous power supplied to oscillator. The instantaneous power supplied to the oscillator. Supplied to the oscillator P equal to dW by dt. P equal to dW by dt. P equal to d by dW by dt equal to F dy by dt equal to Fv. Okay, P equal to the rate of work done is P instantaneous power supplied to oscillator P equal to dW by dt equal to F dW equal to dy by dt equal to Fv. Okay, equal to instantaneous force multiply instantaneous velocity. Okay, equal to F naught cos omega t cross F naught upon Zm. F naught upon Zm cos omega t minus phi. Okay, then work done in a time dt. Then work done in a time dt equal to F naught whole square upon Zm cos omega t minus phi into dt. Work done in a time dt. Work done in a time dt. F naught whole square. F naught whole square upon Zm cos omega t upon Zm cos omega t into cos omega t minus phi cos omega t minus phi into dt. Okay. Okay. Then our work done in a time capital T, where T is the period of the oscillation. Our work done in a time capital T, where capital T is the time period. Work done in a time capital T, where capital T is the time period. Capital T is the time period. Capital T is the time period of the oscillator. Okay, equal to F naught square upon Zm 0 to capital T cos omega t minus phi into dt. Okay, average power over one complete cycle. Average power over one complete average power over one complete cycle. Average power over one complete cycle. P average equal to F naught square upon Zm t 0 to t cos omega t minus phi into dt. Okay, P average equal to F naught square upon Zm t 0 to t cos square omega t cos phi plus cos omega t sin omega t sin phi bracket close into dt. Okay. Then this is converted in F naught square upon Zm t. F naught square upon Zm t cos phi 0 to t cos square omega t into dt plus sin phi 0 to t cos omega t sin omega t into dt equal to F naught square upon 2 Zm cos phi. Okay, equal to 1 by t 0 to t. 1 by t 0 to t cos square omega t into dt equal to 1 by t 0 to t cos 2 omega t plus 1 by 2 into dt. Okay, then this is converted in 1 upon t. This is converted in 1 upon t 1 upon t 0 to t cos 2 omega t upon 2 into dt plus 1 by t 0 to t 1 by 2 dt equal to 1 by 2. Okay, because 0 to t cos 2 omega t upon 2 into dt equal to 0 and 0 to t 0 to t cos omega t sin omega t into dt equal to 0 to t cos 2 omega t upon 2 equal to 0 and sin phi 0 to t cos omega t sin omega t into dt equal to 0. Average power supplied by the driving force to oscillator, then average power supplied by the driving force to the oscillator P average equal to F naught square upon 2Zm cos phi. The quantity cos phi is known as power factor. The quantity cos phi is known as power factor. Okay. Graphical representation. Okay. Graphical representation. The average power supplied to the force oscillator is given by P average equal to F naught square upon 2Zm cos phi. Okay, and cos phi equal to R by Zm, that is R by under root of R square plus omega m minus s by omega whole square, where cos phi equal to 1 is that when omega m minus s by omega equal to 0, comma omega square equal to s by m equal to omega naught square. Okay, which is the case of resonance? Which is the case of resonance? Which is the case of resonance? The average power is maximum. The P average is maximum. The average power is maximum. The average power depends upon Zm and in turn on frequency omega. We shall consider the variation of P average with omega in their different cases. Okay. Then first case. Okay. This is first cases. Case first. At low frequency. Okay. At low frequency. Okay. At low frequency, omega stands to 0. 0. At low frequency omega is tends to 0 and m omega is tends to 0. S by omega is tends to infinite. S by omega is tends to infinite. Okay? S by omega is tends to infinite. Then Zm tends to be very large and hence the average power is small. Omega is tends to 0, then m omega is tends to 0, then S by omega is infinite. And S by omega is infinite, okay? Zm tends to very large. Zm tends to very large. Zm tends to Zm tends to very large, okay? Zm tends to very large and hence average power and hence average power P average equal to 0, okay? Second point at high frequency at high frequency okay? At high frequency omega is tends to infinite. Then m omega is tends to infinite and S by omega is tends to 0. Zm again tends to be very large. Zm again tends to very large, okay? Very large and hence average power is small. And hence average power is very small. Okay? At resonant frequency. Okay? At resonance frequency. 1 minute. At resonance frequency. Okay? At resonance frequency. At resonance frequency, okay? At resonance frequency, omega equal to omega naught, and Zm equal to R, and cos phi equal to R by Zm equal to R by R equal to 1. The average power at resonance frequency, at resonance frequency, the average power at resonance frequency is maximum and given by maximum and given by P average equal to F naught square upon 2 Zm equal to F naught square upon 2R. Okay? 2R. Then this is the frequency. Omega, and this is the power, P average power, okay? P average power, and this is the resonance frequency. This is the resonance condition. Omega naught, okay? And this is okay? This is P maximum. This is P maximum equal to F naught square upon 2R. F naught square upon 2R. Okay. The variation of P average with driving force frequency is known. Omega equal to 0. If omega equal to 0, then P average is 0. If omega equal to 0, then P average is 0. And when omega is very large, then P average again tends to 0. P average again tends to 0, and peak occurs at resonance omega equal to omega naught. At this frequency, the power supplied to the force oscillator by the driving force is maximum and equal to F naught square upon 2R. Thus height of the peak and the sharpness of its peak at resonance is determined by the damping constant R. The variation of P average with omega determine the response of the oscillator to the driving force. Okay. The graph between P average power and omega is known as absorption curve of the oscillator. The graph between P average and omega is known as absorption curve of the oscillator. The power supplied to an oscillator by the driving force is maximum at resonance frequency when the frequency of the driving force omega is equal to the natural frequency of oscillating omega naught of the oscillator. The average power supplied to the oscillator equal to F naught square upon 2 Zm cos phi. Okay, where Zm equal to under root of R square plus omega m minus s by omega whole square, and cos phi equal to R upon under root of R square plus omega m minus s by omega whole square, where omega square equal to omega naught square equal to s by m, comma omega m minus s by omega equal to 0, and cos phi equal to 1. The average power is maximum is given by P average is maximum is F naught square upon 2 Zm equal to F naught square upon 2R. Okay. Power supplied to the force oscillator. Okay. If R is the frictional force, for unit velocity, then total frictional force, Ft, total frictional force equal to R into V equal to R dy by dt. The rate of working by the oscillating against the frictional force. The rate of working by the oscillator oscillator against the frictional force, against the frictional force, by the frictional force, equal to frictional force multiplied instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity. Okay? Instantaneous velocity. Okay? If the R is the frictional force for unit velocity, then a total of frictional force F equal to RV equal to R dV by dt, and the rate of working by the oscillating against the frictional force is frictional force multiplied instantaneous velocity equal to R dy by dt into dy by dt equal to R dy by dt whole square equal to RV square. Okay? Equal to R F naught square upon Zm square cos square omega t minus I. Okay? As V equal to F naught by Zm cos omega t minus phi, when driving force is when driving force F equal to F naught cos omega t. Okay, the average value of cos square omega t one period is given by the average value of cos square omega t minus phi over one period is given by 1 by t 0 to t cos square omega t minus phi into dt equal to 1 by t 0 to t 1 minus cos 2 omega t minus phi whole upon 2 into dt. Okay, equal to 1 by t 1 by 2 0 to t into dt minus 1 by 2 0 to t cos 2 omega t minus 5 equal to 1 by 2. Equal, then average loss of power. Average loss of power. Average loss of power. Then average loss of power equal to 1 by 2 F naught square upon Zm square into R. Okay, but cos phi equal to R by Zm. Cos phi equal to R by Zm. Okay, cos phi equal to R by Zm. Substituting equation number 2. Okay, this is the equation number 1. And substituting in second, we have average loss power. Average loss power equal to 1 by 2 F naught square upon Zm cos phi. Okay, this is the equation number 2. Okay, just comparing first for previous and the second of this heading. Then average power supplied by the driving force. Average power supplied by the driving force by the driving force. Average power supplied by the driving force to the oscillator is to the oscillator is equal to the average power equal to the average power dissipated against the frictional force dissipated against the frictional force. Okay, dissipated against the frictional force. Okay, and the average work done per second against the average work done per second against the resistive or damping force. Okay, the student are well advised to compare the above result with the power in the alternating current circuit, which is given by VI cos phi, where V and I are RMS value. V and I is RMS value of voltage and current. Okay, respectively, cos phi is the power factor and cos phi is the power factor. Okay, as I equal to V by ZI. Okay, as I equal to V by ZI. Okay, then I equal to V by ZI. We have VI cos phi equal to V square upon ZI cos phi. Moreover, VRMS equal to V naught by root 2 and V square by ZI cos phi equal to V naught square upon 2 ZI cos phi. Thus applied EMF in the electric circuit corresponds to applied driving force and electric impedance ZI to the mechanical impedance ZM. Okay, thus the power supplied by the driving force is not stored in the mechanical oscillator but is used up in doing work against the dissipative frictional resistive force. The energy supplied by the external period force is exactly the same as that lost per cycle due to damping resistance. The energy supplied by the external periodic force helps in the maintenance of the oscillations of a forced oscillator. Okay, thus in the steady state the amplitude and the period of the forced oscillator are so adjusted that the power supplied by the external periodic force is equal to the energy dissipated against the frictional force. Okay, frictional force. Next reading, absorption of resonance करो. Okay, thank you. Absorption resonance करो. Sound down. Absorption resonance करो. Okay, the average power supplied to the force oscillator by the driving force is given by average power, okay, equal to F naught square by 2Zm cos phi, that is F naught square by 2Zm square into R, okay, where Zm equal to under root of R square plus omega m minus s by omega whole square, okay, and cos phi equal to R by Zm equal to R by under root of R square plus omega m minus s by omega whole square. The quantity P average, the average power thus depends upon Zm, and in term on omega, it has maximum value when cos phi equal to 1, which gives omega m minus s by omega equal to 0, so that phi equal to 0 and Zm equal to R, okay? Quantity P average, the average power depends upon Zm, okay, average power is depends upon Zm, okay, and in turn on omega, okay, it has maximum value when it has maximum value when cos phi equal to 1, when cos phi equal to 1, okay, which gives omega m minus s by omega equal to 0, so that phi equal to 0 and Zm equal to R, okay, cos phi equal to 1, then omega minus s by omega equal to 0, omega m minus s by omega equal to 0, then Zm equal to R, okay, when omega m minus s by omega equal to 0, then omega square equal to s by m equal to omega naught square, which is the case of velocity resonance, velocity resonance, which is the case of velocity resonance. Hence P average has a maximum value. P average has a maximum value at velocity resonance. Okay, velocity resonance. It is because when phi equal to 0, velocity and applied periodic force 0, velocity and applied periodic force, velocity and applied periodic force are always in phase, always in phase, and hence maximum power is supplied maximum power is supplied to the oscillator okay. Maximum value at velocity resonance it has because when phi equal to 0, velocity and applied periodic force are always in phase, and hence maximum power is supplied to the oscillator. Okay. P average max maximum is F naught square upon 2Zm equal to F naught square upon 2R. Okay. That is Zm equal to R. Okay. Zm equal to R. The variation of P average with omega, the frequency of the driving force for a oscillator, is shown in this figure. You can show the graph of next, and the graph between P average and omega is called the absorption resonance curve of the forced oscillator. Okay. The graph between average power and omega is called absorption resonance curve, okay, of the forced oscillator, okay. It is so called because the power absorbed by the oscillator is maximum at frequency of velocity resonance, okay. Resonance absorption bandwidth. Resonance absorption bandwidth. Absorption resonance bandwidth. Okay. Absorption resonance bandwidth. Let omega 1 and omega be the frequency for. Let omega 1 and omega 2 be the frequencies for which P average equal to 1 by 2 P average maximum. Okay. P average maximum. Okay. Then the condition for P average equal to 1 by 2 P average maximum gives F naught square R by 2 Zm square equal by 2 F naught square by 2R. Okay. That is Zm square equal to 2R square. Zm square equal to 2R square. Zm square equal to 2R square. Okay. That is R square plus omega m minus s by omega square equal to 2R square. That is omega m minus s by omega equal to plus minus R let omega 1 and less omega 1 be less and omega naught and omega 2 greater than omega naught. Okay, let omega 1 be less, omega 1 be less than omega 1 be less than omega naught and omega 2, omega naught and omega 2, omega naught. Let omega 1 be less than omega, let omega 1 be less than omega and omega 2 greater than omega naught and omega 2 greater than omega naught, then omega naught, then omega naught, then omega naught, then omega 2m minus s by omega 2 equal to plus r omega 2 square minus s by m equal to plus r by m omega 2. This is the equation number 4, and omega 1 m minus s by omega 1 equal to minus r omega 1 square minus s by m equal to minus r by m into omega 1, subtracting second from 1, from 1 second, subtracting second from 1, we have omega 2 square minus omega 1 square equal to r by m omega 2 plus omega 1, that is omega 2 minus omega 1 equal to r by m. Okay, the angular frequency difference, angular frequency difference omega 2 minus omega 1 is called bandwidth of the response curve. Bandwidth of the response curve, okay, response curve. It is defined as the difference in the angular frequency, the difference in the angular frequencies, the difference in the angular frequencies below and above the frequency, below and above the frequencies, of velocity resonance, for which the average power drops to half the maximum value, drops to half the maximum value, okay. The bandwidth is shown on effect of damping. That is graph you can show. I am going for plotted the graph between omega 1, omega 2, omega naught and P average maximum. Okay, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and this represent the omega. This represent the omega, and this represent the P average. P average and the bandwidth. Bandwidth is that is P average max. That is P average max. P average max and equal to F naught by 2R. F naught square by 2R, and this is 1 by 2 P average max. P average max, and this is omega 1, and this is omega naught, and this is omega 2. Okay, effect of damping. Effect of damping. Okay, as bandwidth omega 2 minus omega 1 is directly proportional to R, the damping constant, or the damping constant. Okay, the bandwidth increases and damping constant increases. If bandwidth increases, damping constant increases. Damping constant increases. Okay, if the damping constant, if bandwidth omega 2 minus omega 1 increases, then damping constant increases. Okay, thanks. Quality factor Q in terms of bandwidth. Quality factor Q in terms of bandwidth. Okay, the quality factor Q of a mechanical oscillator is gives by m omega naught by R. The quality factor Q of mechanical oscillator is gives by Q equal to omega naught by R, where omega is the angular frequency of velocity resonance, m the mass of the R, mass, and R the damping constant. Okay, resonance absorption bandwidth. Resonance absorption bandwidth omega 2 minus omega 1 equal to R by M, where omega 1 less than omega naught, where omega 1 is the less than omega naught, and omega naught is the greater than, and omega naught, where omega 1 is less than omega naught and omega 2 greater than omega naught. Okay, for which the average power drops to half the maximum value, hence quality for which the average power drops to half, the maximum value, hence quality factor m omega naught by r equal to omega naught by omega 2 minus omega 1, where omega 2 minus omega 1 equal to r by m, okay, equal to frequency at resonance upon full bandwidth at half maximum power, okay. Quality factor value of an oscillator is the ratio of frequency of maximum velocity response response to the bandwidth at half maximum power, okay. Effect of increase in Q value. Effect of increase in Q value in quality factor value, Q value, okay. Q value of an oscillator is the ratio of frequency of maximum velocity response to the bandwidth at half maximum power, okay. For quality factor Q equal to frequency at resonance upon full bandwidth at half maximum power, okay. And the quality value of an oscillator is the ratio of the frequency of maximum velocity response to the bandwidth at half maximum power, okay. And effect of increase in quality factor as Q value equal to omega naught upon omega 2 minus omega 1, that is omega naught upon bandwidth. When Q value of an oscillator is increased, when Q value of an oscillator is increased, that means omega 2 minus omega 1 is that bandwidth decrease, then bandwidth decreases and omega naught is a constant quantity, constant quantity, okay, as Q equal to omega naught upon bandwidth, okay, and bandwidth equal to omega naught upon Q, okay. Quality in terms of energy decay.